this. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to read a prayer from Hi God, One More Thing. It's called I Don't Want to Wait. Just listen. I love you. Wait. Hurry up and wait. Wait your turn. I'm just going to be honest. I don't like waiting. I picked the shortest line at the grocery store on purpose. Ain't nobody got time for that. Why wait? Why not now? I'm ready. Seriously, over ready. I'm ready for that job. I'm beyond ready for that house. God, I can totally handle that relationship right now. My body needs to be healed now. I need what's next. It's my turn. Right now, I'm going in circles, feeling crazy, just waiting. Speaking of circles, why did the Israelites have to walk around Jericho 7 times before the walls fell? Couldn't that have happened on circle number 1? It just took more time, more praise, more prayer, more faith. Hey, wait a minute. I guess my TV can be on demand, but my God can't. You're not Uber Eats at my beck and call. You're the creator of the universe who is merciful enough to have a conversation with me, one of 7 billion humans. I think maybe my perspective got a little off. Thank you for listening to me when I pray. I honestly can't believe you take the time and effort to move. Do you want to come over here? Oh, to pray. Do you want to pray? Are you praying? I can't believe you take the time and effort to move things around on the earth on my behalf. You don't owe me anything, and I owe you, well, every single thing, including this moment. Forgive me for forgetting how special our relationship is. If you have me in a holding pattern, it must not be safe to land. Can you please not sit on this? You'll fall. Okay, you'll fall. You guys, I apologize. Literally, I'll get into why B needs to sleep, but he needs to sleep. The poor guy, like, gets up with her at ungodly hours and then lets me sleep in. So anyways, forgive me for forgetting how special our relationship is. Quiet. If you have me in a holding pattern, it must not be safe to land. I've already read that. Hold on one second. Wait, you want me to wait? I'll do it with a refocused vision and a tuned up attitude. Thank you, God, for doing so much more for me that I have the ability to perceive. You aren't lazy, you're wise. I'll wait for that wisdom. I'll wait and praise you. I'll wait with my hands held high in a beautiful mix of surrender and expectation. I'll wait on the God who does not fail. I'll wait with my hopes high and my confidence fixed on you. You know what? I just realized waiting on you isn't so bad. I won't let a ticking clock hold more weight than my God. You're my Father, and you're working it all out for me. Okay. Sorry, that took me a second to get that out. Yes, there's dogs, honey. We might need to go wake Daddy up, huh? Okay, so I loved that. For me personally, right now, you need to be quiet. Okay, go get Daddy then. Go get him. You can go back to sleep after this. Go get him. Okay, we're struggling, like, for real. Like, normally I'm not able to talk about struggles like when I'm going through them, but this is like an ongoing struggle, not with me and Brian, but like this pregnancy, you guys. Brian came in last night. I laid in bed for a minute to respond to some things, and I was trying to update charts. Fell asleep, okay, with charts in the bed, fell asleep, out cold, snoring, like as loud as I possibly, like Brian's like, I've never heard you snore like that. Like you were out when I came in. And he came in at like 11. So I had been snoring for Lord knows how long, okay? And he put everything away, went to bed, and I still couldn't get out of bed when Huntley woke up at 5. Like I physically can't get out of bed. Like I'm so tired. I actually have a doctor's appointment, and I'm curious to know like what's going on, or if this is just a part of the pregnancy that I need to get over. But it's, I think that's actually my doctor's office. I'll call them right after this. But it's literally it's a struggle. It's a struggle that I'm going through right now, because it's not just like, oh, I'm tired. Like it's fine, you know? And I know you guys are probably tired of me talking about this, but this is something that is literally like eating me alive. Like my mental state is, no matter what I try to do. No, but Katie, I was in there at like 9. So I fell asleep at like 9. Like I had to have fallen asleep during doing my charts. And it's not like I can't take a nap during the day or any, you know what I mean? Like I can get sleep during the day, but this is like it's like I literally can't wake up. Like I cannot wake up throughout my day. I'm exhausted no matter if I take my Confianza or I drink my coffee. Like I'm just a tired mama. And I can deal with that, but what I can't deal with is feeling like I can't get a hold on it. Do you know what I mean? Do you guys ever have something in your life where you just feel like you can't get a hold on it? You're just like, oh, like it might not be sleep for you, but maybe it's discipline or maybe it's, whatever it may be for you. It's so hard for me to not be able to control this. And I'm not beating myself up over it. And I'm not being, ungrateful for being pregnant right now, but I'm struggling. And I will be the first one to admit I am struggling so hard with like the negative thoughts that are coming in of like, I said it out loud this morning and I immediately stopped, but I'm just going to share this with you guys. And I'm sorry if I cry, but I literally said, I feel so worthless. And it's not in my business. It's not in I know that I'm not worthless. Okay. I know that. Right. But it's so hard when you feel like you can't do anything. You just can't do anything. You're just not normal. You're not the normal you, right? Whew, I did not mean to cry on you guys this morning, but it's evident that I am struggling. I am a struggling mama right now. And I am leaning on a lot of prayer and I'm leaning on a lot of doubt. My Facebook got shut down yesterday. Again, yes, Champagne, this is only temporary. It is. But there's just a lot. There's a lot that happens at one time. And when you start to let things in, right? Especially when you start to have feelings of like, I don't feel worthy, or I can't get out of bed, or how am I supposed to do this? Or, those downward negative spirals. I'm normally very good at getting out of them. I'm okay. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm okay. She just ran over here. She's like, are you okay? Sorry guys. Emotional too. I'm emotional too. And that's not like me, right? So I'm just struggling with that. I'm just struggling. That's all I can say is it's just different. It's only temporary, yes, but it's just different. And I know that I'll get through it. And I know that I have so many around me that have been through this too, and that are helping me getting through it too. But, I think it's just when things start to spiral downward, a lot of the times I'm really good at telling you guys how I get through that, right? I'm really good at like diving into gratitude. I'm really good at like shaking off these feelings, but a lot of the times, and sometimes you may not even hear me say this, and I think that it's important to say, a lot of the times you don't need to be super strong. Like you don't need to always be super strong through it all. Like you can cry through it. You can get upset. You can tell your husband that you feel unworthy. Like it sucks. And it's like, it sucks, you guys, but you have to feel it. Like you have to be willing to feel it, and you have to be willing to let it go and work through it. And even cry and share it in front of all your lovely ladies that get on with you in the morning. You guys know this is so not me. But it's just when things start to really pile up and you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you're trapped in your freaking house and you can't do anything. All of these things that are just piling up. Yes, baby, I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank you. She's like the sweetest. Oh my gosh. She always like gets so worried when I get upset. I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay. Let me read the devotional and then we can talk about good things here. No vain endeavor. Actually, this isn't the devotional. I'm sorry. This is the Self-Reliant Entrepreneur. One cannot conceive a state of things so fair that it cannot be realized. Can anyone honestly consult their experience and say that it is so? Have we any facts to appeal to when we say that our dreams are premature? Did you ever hear of a person who had striven all their life faithfully and singly toward an object and in no measure obtained it? And if one constantly aspires, are they not elevated? Did ever a person try heroism? Yes, baby, I'm okay. Truth, sincerity, and find that, yes, and find that there was no advantage in them. That it was a vain endeavor. Henry Thoreau, 1865. This is the ultimate plea to elevate the journey over the destination, that we are better for doing no matter the end. Hold on. This is the ultimate plea to elevate the journey over the destination, that we are better for the doing no matter the end. Yes. This thought from Thoreau bears repeating. Did ever a person try heroism, truth, sincerity, and find that there was no advantage in them? What if you fail? Would you arrive? Huntley, honey, go get daddy, please. Go find daddy. Huntley, look at mommy. Look at mommy. Go find daddy, please. Now, go get him. Go get him. Please, go wake him up. What if you fail? Would you arrive at a better place? What if you have less? Would you want what you already have more? What if you toil and lose? Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second, okay? Okay. What if you have less? Would you want what you already have more? What if you toil and lose? Would you not still be elevated? The beauty of this point of view is that it begs you to color every little thing as a measure of winning. What is uniquely heroic about your journey is the question. I actually love that last part of the sentence. The beauty of this point of view is that it begs you to cover every little thing as a measure of winning. It reminds me of that live I did in the team page a while ago that was like, we need to be celebrating the small wins, right? The small wins are not signing a loyal customer or a distributor. The small wins are getting up 10 haps a day. The small wins are talking to new people about it, getting new potentials, right? Because a lot of the times I think, small wins, feeling okay today, not having a migraine today, getting out of bed today, like, to me, like, those are small. We're talking small right now, okay? Small wins for me are just taking one day at a time right now, taking one day at a time, doing everything that I can do with what I have. I can't even explain to tell you how frustrated I was yesterday. I had gotten up my 6th hap. Okay. I was finally sitting down. I got up my 6th hap. Brian was cleaning out the trailer because we have to, you guys, when it rains, it pours. Okay. When it rains, it flipping pours. We got a notice that we have to move our trailer after 5 months of living here. For some reason, the trailer is now miraculously not allowed to be here. And we have 3 days to figure out where to go in the middle of a, what's this called? Like, everywhere's closed. So we had to figure out where we're going to put our trailer. And it's been 6 days of the 3 because your girl didn't catch the email. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, that things just pile up and you just feel like everything is just out of control and you don't know where to turn. You don't know how to deal with it. You don't know how to process it. And so my whole point of this is I got my 6th hap up yesterday. And seriously, in a moment of joy and excitement, no joke, I texted Shelby and Ashley because we have a group thread on Facebook. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got up my 6th hap. I'm absolutely loving this. Like, I love how accountable it's making me. Just like said how excited I was. And it literally was like, boom, you're blocked. Can't be on, like, came up right away. They didn't even get the message. I asked Shelby later. She didn't even get the message. So like, I'm writing this, how excited I am. And it was literally like, you're blocked. Bye. You cannot do anything for 26 more hours. And I was like, wow, like, this is the one good thing that I was going to get done today that I thought I could do. And again, as I talk this out and as I talk to you guys about this, I know you guys know this, but I don't want you to feel bad for me. I don't want you to sit here and be like, good Lord, she's a mess. Like, that is not why I'm sharing this. Trust me, I would only share it with Brian if that's why I was sharing this. I do not want anybody to look at me as weak or sad. It is so hard for me to share what I'm going through right now. Like I told you, especially with what I'm going through, if that makes sense. Like, it's hard. It's easy to talk about it after the fact, but when you're in it, I think it's even more hard to talk about. Right. So anyways, my point of this is that when I start to feel like that, I just want you guys to know that with me sharing it, it's not because I want, I want pity or for you to feel feel bad for me. It's just the reality of how life works and how we have to like learn to like roll with the punches and be okay with it. Okay, let me read this. I had something that I thought I was going to share and it literally just like left my brain because that's a normal thing too. Okay. Day 29, let him fight the battle. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. I am wired to be a doer. If there's a problem, I get antsy until I figure out how to fix it. If there's a roadblock, well, now there's got to be a way around it. If the insurance company denies my claim, I file an appeal. When a sales presentation goes awry, I will call and apologize, trying to reestablish the relationship right away. But what happens when we need something to change and there's nothing we can do? One woman I know was appalled when she moved offices and discovered that no one on the new team would speak to her. She was treated as invisible. Her coworkers passed her in the hallways and sat just feet away, never acknowledging her presence. No acts of friendliness made a dent. She tried repeatedly to talk to her bosses about it, but they refused to listen. Nothing worked. As my friend relayed her story, I shuddered. The exact same thing happened at my first college waitressing job. When my secretly racist supervisor discovered I had gone to homecoming with a Black friend, she literally never spoke to me again, passing her instructions through others. Being shunned makes us feel shamed and helpless. My friend described driving home every night, month after month, bewildered and in tears. In her hopelessness and exhaustion, she even stopped praying. Then her job ended abruptly, giving her long hours of reflection time, and she realized a few things. First, just as her coworkers ignored her, she had been ignoring God. Just as she longed to connect with her coworkers, her Heavenly Father longed to connect with her. One of the things God wanted to tell her, if she had listened, was to stop flailing around. She was not called to fight this battle. Instead, she was called to stand in trust and watch as God fought the battle and worked out his plan for her life. Friends, if you're getting beaten up in a certain battle, realize that there are some fights God does not want us to take on. They are his. My friend later realized that God's answer was to remove her from a job she would not quit on her own. God's answer in my situation was for my supervisor to be fired. Both were God's hand at work. Let us resolve to let him work and be still. The reflection is, how have you been fighting battles recently that you might not be called to fight on your own? Thinking back, are there instances where you realized God was fighting for you? Write them down as reminders for future. So a couple of things were said to me yesterday. One of them, actually, we went over to Shelby and Phil's for tacos. Hey, Shelbs, I just saw you were on. For tacos last night. And Phil was like, so during this time, with no Facebook, are you like kind of taking a moment? Like, can you take a break a little bit? Or like, what do you do? And I was like, no, I kind of just like follow up, set up my posts, like do everything that I need to do that I wouldn't. And he was like, so it's kind of a forced break for you to really focus on some things that, you might need, because I've got some tax things to do and all sorts of things that I was telling him about. And he was like, it's kind of a forced break for you. And as he said that, I didn't realize it until I read this devotional, that maybe God is sitting here trying to tell me, how about you stop trying to control everything again? How about you stop trying to constantly have control over how great you're doing at your job, over how Shelby says, my devotional this morning said, welcome the inconveniences, because it's part God's plan for you. It's God's plan for you. Yes. So true. And I just feel like it's easy when we're in like I can't even say that I'm in a negative headspace, because I don't feel like I'm being negative. I don't feel like I have like a negative headspace. You know what I mean? It's just like tough days. It's just tough days. Like sometimes we all just go through tough stuff. And as it piles on, it gets tougher, and it just becomes like lame, right? It just becomes like, I don't even have the words for it, but it's the truth. Like sometimes we just have to work through some things. And I truly do feel like after reading that devotional and just kind of like having a moment this morning that God is trying to work through me with something, and I'm being very resistive to it. And I'm mostly being resistive to it because it's very, very hard for me to show my weaknesses, not just to you guys, but to Brian mainly. Okay. And it's sad. Like he should be the main person that I can share those with. Right. But when you have somebody, Lord, you guys, forgive me. When you have somebody that literally does everything without asking, without making you feel bad, without anything, getting up with her, staying up late with her, whatever in the world, and you just feel like a freaking blob. You know what I'm like? Can anybody just drop a 1 for this girl this morning? Can you just drop a 1 if you've ever related? Because I'm a mess. Sorry, guys. Thanks, even if you're just dropping it because you love me. But it's just really easy to start getting into those old habits of feeling unworthy. And I don't know if you guys have ever known that about me. I know I've shared it in the past. I've shared it when I wasn't feeling unworthy, right? And it's not unworthy of, of this business. It's not unworthy of the things that I have. It's just a feeling that creeps back up. It's just a feeling that sometimes comes out when you can't do things on your own. I've taken pride my entire life, like legitimately my entire life, in doing everything on my own. I've always had to. And I'm sure that some of you can relate to that as well. So when that's kind of taken from you, instead of looking at all of this as such a blessing, like, look at, God gave me this man that helps me with everything. God gave me this man that literally never makes me feel unworthy. God gave me this man that would do absolutely anything for me, yet I'm the one that's beating myself up because I want to do it on my own, instead of just being so grateful that he's here. And it's not just me being like, it's all internal battles. Does that even make sense? Like, it's all internal battles. Like, half the things I don't even say out loud. Half the things that I say, I know are not like something that should be said, right? It's just something that we have to work through and be able to recognize and know that God is pulling on my heart. Like, I don't know if anybody needed this today, but you guys know that I pray over every single one of these. Before I hop on here, I pray to just help one person. And some of you might be like, good Lord, that girl needs to go take a shower, get a massage, and like, just like, she needs some space, right? But some of you might be sitting here like, wow, I needed to hop on this morning because Rochelle's human and Rochelle's normal. I'm probably blowing Katie Main's mind the most because she thinks I'm a robot. I'm just kidding, Katie. But seriously, I think we all just need to give ourselves grace. And sometimes if we make a fool out of ourselves and cry and vent to the women that I see every single morning, because I just love you guys so much. And I thank you for all the support that you guys have always given me. Kristen says, I needed to hear this. I've been crying this whole time. Oh my gosh. See, I love you, girl. I'm glad you hopped on. I'm sorry you had to see this mess of a mama losing it. But seriously, I'm working harder on showing my heart. I'm working harder on working through things faster and not burying them, and owning what I feel. Katie says, I was just going to type that we love seeing our leaders as humans. Yeah. It's been a rough little month. I decided that Brian was going presidential on the first of the month. And I haven't undecided that. Like, he's like, don't worry, he's going presidential. Okay. That's like happening. But the devil knows when there are godly people who are doing doing good things. The devil knows when our team is on fire, it's because we're changing so many lives. The devil creeps in on that. He comes in on, oh my gosh, look how much success this girl's team is having. Look how many lives this girl's changing. How can I get in her head? Right? Like, that is exactly how the devil preys on us. That is exactly what he does to us when we are doing well. So recognize that and cast him out. Carrie Young, has an incredible live. I think it's on her YouTube. I'm going to type her name so you guys can go search it. Carrie Young, Cast the Devil Out. You guys should search it today. If you can't find it, let me know, because it might be in one of our pages. Well, might be in one of our Facebook pages that I can't tag you in today, but we'll get around to it. Cast the Devil Out is what it's called. And she literally talks about casting him out and saying it out loud. Like, I've heard Cammie talk about this too. She says, sometimes when I just feel like I'm so defeated and I don't even know what to do. Yeah, Cammie Pentecost said that to me one time. She's like, sometimes when I just feel so defeated, and I was like, let me pick up my jaw off the floor, because I didn't realize you ever got defeated. Like, what? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's probably what you guys are thinking about me right now. Like, Rochelle cries. What is happening? Anyways, she said sometimes she just puts her hands up and just says, Jesus, 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 and just repeats his name over and over and over again, because she doesn't know what else to say. And all she knows is the devil's trying to come at her. And if she just puts her hands up and screams Jesus, that he will just come into that space. And it was so powerful for me, because it's just, you're just casting him out. We have control over whether or not we let him in. He doesn't have God's powers. Like, a lot of people, this is actually something I learned like in the last couple of years, you guys. It kind of makes me sad to say that, but it's true. God and the devil, like, are not equals. Did you guys know that? Like, they are not equals. We so many times think to ourselves like that the devil and God are like they could equally have effect on our life. And it's not the truth. The devil used to be an angel in heaven. Okay, he used to be an angel in heaven that was cast out, basically. I'm terrible at telling stories, but you guys know what I'm saying. And he became the devil. He never had the powers that God had. He was always God's right-hand man. I might be butchering that, okay? But this is what I took away from the story, and so that's what I'm telling you. He was always God's right-hand man. He was never equal to God. Does that make sense? And now he is the devil. The devil cannot, our God has already won. Jesus has already won everything, right? The only thing that the devil can do is come and shake you up and make you cry in front of all your girls, right? That's it. That's all he can do. You just have to cast him out. You just have to cast him out and put your hands up and just ask Jesus to come back in and take over everything that you're feeling. And I already feel better just talking about this, because it is in our control. As much as we don't want to feel like it's in our control, it is in our control, and we control what we feel, and we control who we're reaching out to. Because when we shut down, and when we, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, sometimes you need to shut down, sometimes you need to let it all out, right? But when we stay there, we're allowing the devil to mess us up, right? When we stay there is when we're allowing him to truly come into our life and say, okay, go ahead and ruin everything around me, because I've just given up. Like, this is just too much, right? Instead, we need to be saying, get the heck out of my life. Lord, come down, because this is too much. This is too much. I need you to take this off of me. I need you to take all of this pain. I need you to take all of this unworthiness. I need you to take all of this. You guys, unworthiness is not something that it's new. It's new for me. Like, in my whole life, like as a kid, everything, that was not something that I ever dealt with, ever. I never felt unworthy. I never felt like I wasn't good enough, ever. Okay. When you become, and this is just how I personally have perceived this, okay? So this might be different for you guys. When you become somebody's leader, somebody's mom, somebody's wife, when you become something for somebody, you personally, not the people that you're talking about, but you personally have some sort of way that you feel about that, okay? I have a certain way, I have a certain standard of what the kind of mom I want to be. I have a certain standard of the kind of wife I want to be. I have a certain standard of the kind of person I want to be. And I have a certain standard of the kind of leader I want to be, right? So when I come short of that, when I sell myself short of that, that's the unworthiness. That's when it seeps in for me. It's like, okay, you can't even get, Rochelle, you can't even get out of bed. You can't, you're having a rough day? Like, get your life together. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that is how I feel. And then it just spirals. And when I start my day like that, it just spirals down more and spirals down more until I feel like there was a night the other night, and I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. There was a night where I was like, Brian, I know you're mad at me. Like, I know you're so mad. And he's like, what? What do you mean I'm mad at you? He's like, I'm not mad at you. And I'm like, you are so pissed. Like, I can't even wake up. I can't even feed Huntley lunch. Like, I can't even feed myself lunch. Like, he's giving me lunch. Like, you're so mad at me. Like, I know you're just so frustrated and disappointed. Like, I know, like, you couldn't possibly say anything to me that I don't already know, just like spiral. Just feeling so sorry for myself, feeling like, I just know you're so mad. And he's like, sweetheart, I haven't said a word. Like, I am not mad at you. You are pregnant. You are tired. You have a lot on your plate. Like, I am not, I'm okay. And your baby's okay. Thank you. And I'm sitting there like, you're not mad at me. Why aren't you mad at me? Why wouldn't you be mad at me? Do you guys ever, maybe this is just me, but I'm sitting there in this negative spiral of like, how in the world could you not be mad at me? I can't do anything for myself. Like, I can't do anything, just like having a moment. Right. But he's just sitting there like, I love you. I love you, babe. And I will do whatever it takes. And we're going to get through this together. Like, and maybe you're watching this right now and you're like, man, I wish I had that. Right. I wish I had that. Maybe some of us don't have the support that we need. Maybe some of us don't have that person that just looks at you and they're like, I'm not mad at you, but I love you. Like, all he can do is just look at me and say he loves me, and I'm still pushing him away. I'm still saying, yeah, right. Like, how could you not be mad at me? I'm mad at myself. Right. You're projecting that. You're projecting what you feel on them. Maybe it's a best friend. Maybe it's your husband. Maybe it's your mom. Okay. But know this, God is for you. And God is sitting there saying to you, hey, I love you and everything's going to be okay. And you might be mad at yourself right now, but I'm not mad at you. And I'm still sitting right here. And all you got to do is reach over and talk to me. All you got to do is say, hey, Lord, I can't handle this. All you got to do is say, hey, Lord, are you mad at me? I can feel you. You're mad at me right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, speak it out loud. Say it. You got to be mad at me because I'm pissed at myself. Say it. Work through that. Work through that and ask him to show you. Ask him to show you light. Ask him to show you love. Ask him to show you his embrace. And he's going to. Whether it's a husband, through your husband or through your mom or through your best friend, he will give that to you. But you also have to remember, I know a lot of you have read the prayer of Jabez. If you do not ask, you will not receive. You've got to ask. You've got to ask him to come in and help. Because a lot of the times he's sitting up there. I've seen like images before. I don't know where, probably church or something, but I've seen images before where God is like literally like in tears, like trying to help you, but because you're not asking for help, he's not helping you. Does that make sense? Like, you need me to scooch up? Okay, there you go. Or like he's fighting battles and he's fighting battles around you and you're sitting there just like, I wish somebody would help me, but God's like fighting all these battles when you don't even see it. You don't even see what's happening. Like, that's what he's doing for you, but you have to be open and willing to ask him to come down and help you and feel the feelings that you need to feel. So I need to stop feeling unworthy. So Lord, can you please show me today how to not feel unworthy? Can you show me how to feel loved and honored and respected? Can you show me those things that I so badly need right now? You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, that's when he's gonna give those things to you. You have an owie. Okay, Mama's almost done. I think I'm done, guys. I'm just like venting at this point. I'm just venting. You guys are the best for hanging around with me this morning. I think I missed a comment though, so I'm trying to see. Blanca says, I feel the same way too. My husband is everything I could ask for in a husband and a father. And I get that feeling that I'm doing when I'm not doing what I should for him. Yes. That is probably my biggest struggle right now, is that he's totally fine with all this. And here's the thing that you, okay, go get your other baby then, go find it, is that you automatically compare yourself, kind of like, okay, if he was doing all the things that I'm doing right now, would you be so deserving and so understanding? Would you be so understanding? Would you be so like loving? Would you be so forgiving? Because if I'm being completely honest, I would probably say no, right? Sleeping all the time, trying my best, but not like my best is like literally sub freaking par right now. Like literally making a meal for myself is not even in the question. Like it's sad, right? Okay, go find it, sweetheart. Go find it. Anyways, all of this is like just real stuff that I'm just sharing with you guys from my heart. But the reason why no, Katie says no, because he wouldn't have a baby in his belly. Yes, that is so true. But I try really hard to make sure that I don't make everything an excuse, because I personally have a really bad habit of being like, well, I'm making a baby, so it's fine, right? But then it's like, but like, could I do more? Like, could I do more? Yeah, you got it. I see it. But yes, you are totally right. Paulina said, you inspire me, Rochelle. Thank you for taking the time to be so vulnerable and show me that it's okay to be vulnerable and accept the fact that it's okay to feel human sometimes. You're welcome. I'm covered in sweat, you guys, but I love you. I'm just covered in sweat right now. So it's not easy being vulnerable for me. It's not easy, but if it just helped even one person to help what I'm going through right now, then that means something to me. And that's what I always pray for, is just if I could just help one person through these. And just know that you're not alone and that it's normal to feel the feelings that you're feeling, as long as we feel them and then we don't stay there. So if you want to reach out to me, we can do it together and not stay here together and get out of that, that negative feelings and unworthy feelings together. So I love you guys. I'll let you go. I will see you tomorrow morning. And yeah, we'll talk then. Bye guys. Love you.